back when I was building my karate empire, I had over 400 studios. We kind of boiled down to the essence, what makes a great instructor? And this is what we're bringing to this program, because there were a lot of guys that were good at teaching. Mm-hmm. But then even the guys that were good at teaching, some of them had really good curriculums. Mm-hmm. Not all martial arts was created equal, amazingly. Some of them were more about hands, some of them were more about feet, some of them were more about street fighting. So you could have a guy that was a great martial artist and not a great teacher, or you could have a guy who was a great teacher, but his martial art maybe wasn't one of the strongest. And then on top of that, you could have a guy who was a great teacher, a great instructor, but had no idea how to attract students. And certainly no idea how to sell students. And what I ended up calling that was the 4 pillars of teaching success. In other words, you've got to have a great curriculum like you have with Impact Zone Golf. Mm-hmm. You've also, though, got to be able to teach that curriculum, because you can have a great curriculum and the teacher can be kind of a dud. And then, of course, you got to have the sales and marketing elements. Otherwise, you can be great at teaching and have a great curriculum but still not make any money.
Yeah, that's the point, is you want to have a successful career as a teaching professional. You got to be able to be proficient in all these different aspects of being a coach or a teacher. You have to have the knowledge base. That's one. You have to have the ability to teach. You have to have the ability to communicate. You have to have the ability to sell and know what you're selling and get your students on board to purchasing what you're about to sell them and not be afraid of selling. And then you have to be able to market and get students in to come see you to begin with. So it's a whole plan. And that's what we've done here, Andrew, is we've put these 4 pillars together in one comprehensive training system, so that instructors can truly get trained for the first time in all these different aspects of what it takes to be a good teacher.
If you're missing one of these aspects, it doesn't work.
No.
And if you've got all 4 of these aspects, quite frankly, I was a very average martial arts instructor. I liked it well enough, but it wasn't, I got into it by accident. I was teaching a guy golf. That's how I got into the karate business. He drove up in a Ferrari, and I'm like, hey, I want one of those. What do you do, mister? And he's like, hey, kid, you any good? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty good. He goes, well, maybe you can teach me, because I suck. And I ended up giving him golf lessons, and he was a karate guy, and he had a bunch of studios, and he gave me karate lessons.
Wow.
And that's, but I mean, and he was one of the ones who told me, it's all right being good at karate, but if you don't have the other stuff. So it's just so important that you're well-rounded in all 4 of these areas, because that's what it takes to be a really successful instructor like you. I mean, you're great at teaching, you're great at communicating, you're great at marketing, you're great at sales. That's why you make the big bucks.
And I've had a lot of good mentors along the way like you to help me through that process. So that's why we've put this program together, because we wanted to produce the ultimate training program for instructors, because there's nothing out there like
There's nothing even close to this.
Yeah.
No.
And so we feel that impact-based teaching is the best curriculum. It gets quick results. It makes the most amount of sense. It gets students engaged right away how to improve their golf swing and their golf game without undoing everything that they've ever learned before. And that's where everybody needs to be. They just want to play better. So how do you become a successful coach? Use the 4 pillars and use impact-based instruction, and you're on your way.